Gently close your eyes. Keep your spine and neck erect, almost perpendicular. If you draw a golden thread from the crown of your head to the Muladhara chakra, you should be centered. If you look at your own image sideways, you draw a straight line. It goes from the crown to the ears, to the shoulders, to the hips, and to the to the base on which you're sitting. Relax your shoulders. Bring attention to your thighs and relax them. Drop all the resistance from inside. Just and bring your attention to your breath. Let your tongue settle down in your mouth. Eyelids are gently closed. We'll say 3 Omkaras. Take a deep breath. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently rub your palms. And put them on your eyelids very gently, the soft part of your palms, and look deep inside the Chidakash. And rub your hands all your body, put all that energy back. Okay, so I think we should do some inversions today, and we'll do some simple stuff, but one of them is chair using Shirsasana. And we've taught that before, so if you want to use the chairs, that's up to you, but if you want to do it on the ground, it's up to you. But after that, we will do some Viparita Karani and against the wall, and it should be pretty easy. It's not that difficult, except if you don't feel comfortable with the inversion, I think you should just hold tight and just observe, see how we are doing it, and go from there. Excuse me. All right. Okay, So if you have two foam blocks like these, you should use them and put them on either of the chairs. You know, the chairs are about 8 to 9 inches apart. Then eventually I'll pull them towards me. And then, first of all, we're not doing any warm up before we are doing the inversions, so that we are not churning up the blood inside your body, and that will release the toxins, and you don't want to invert your body after you've warmed up. So let's get going with the Shirshasana, chair assisted Shirshasana. So two chairs about 8 or 9 inches apart, and then I'll show you what we're doing. I'm going to put my head inside the chairs, and then I'm going to go up. Okay, so let's look at this. So hold your chair from the side like this, from both the hands, and put your wrist on the chair so you have a nice firm grip to it, and then put your head inside. Okay, make sure your shoulders are on the soft blocks. If you don't have the blocks, you can fold up two blankets or put a pillow. But before you do any of that, it's important that whatever you put here has a good friction and it's not going to slip away. So ideally, you can put your mat, like fold your mats on both sides. But if you're using a blanket, I think the blanket can hold very well. But ideally, you should be putting two kind of firmly gripping things here. Unless you have a already cushioned chair, then that's a different story. Okay, so let's put the blocks. Put your head inside, get a nice hold, and then come up, and then go up. And you can use the support of the wall if you wanted, but I don't really feel necessary for doing this. And let your head basically hang. The good thing about this particular way of doing inversion is it doesn't bring any injuries with it. And the other thing is that you can hold this for a long time. Okay, I would recommend doing it for a minute or two if you wanted, and slowly, as you get used to it, increase your time to your comfort zone. I've seen people who do Shirshasana for half an hour, and I'm not advocating that, but those are experts. You can stay here. Now, once you're comfortable, pull your feet up, stretch them upwards, and get a nice arch in your back. And then move your toes up there. So you're pumping the lymphatic fluids downwards using your calf muscles. Okay, so if you do this Sukshma Vyayam on the top, I think you should be able to use the calf muscles. That's what the calf muscles are designed for. They are the second heart at the bottom of your feet, at your bottom of the body or lower parts of your body that help as you walk. They keep pumping the blood and the lymphatic fluids and keep the system moving. All right. So to come out of it, fold your legs and then use the two elbows. Okay, my thighs are resting on the elbows right now. Take one leg down and the second leg down and gently come down. And then once you're back, I would say sit in Vajrasana And if you feel dizzy, put your hands on the chair, on the block like this in front of you. Just rest and let the fluids settle down a little bit. Okay. So with that, I think we're done with this inversion. Now we're going to show you how to do Viparita Karni using the wall. There are a few ways to do it. We'll see how much time we have today, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you should have at least one block or a bolster next to you to elevate yourself against the wall. And what I do is I keep the blocks handy by my side, okay? And then what you can do is you can sit close, as close you can get to the wall, okay? Very, very tight against the wall, and then keep tucking. And then you can lie down and then lift your legs up and then put them against the wall. So you're very close to the wall now. If you have the ropes, you can hold them and you can pull yourself almost to the wall and put your feet up there. Now you can take one block, all right, and put it under your sits bones or your hips, and then let it be. Put both your hands on the side, and this is Viparita Karni against the wall. It's very easy to do. Anybody can do it at any age. There is no restriction here. And it's extremely beneficial when it comes to blood circulation, bringing all that lymphatic fluids back into the system and the blood and everything. So I would say do this every day before you do the warm-ups or anything, so that the blood is still kind of nice and clean, I would say, before the toxins are released into the body. And then you can spread your legs apart and get a nice stretch in your groin area into this kind of muscles on the thighs. You'll feel the tension right here. And let the gravity do the work. Okay, that's the beauty of doing asanas with some kind of supports or some kind of props. The gravity is put to use as much as you can, so that the effertor inside is missing or it's not awakened. So you can lie here for a while. Now, if you want to take it to the another level and convert this into Sarvangasana, you can do that also. Or you can lift your butts like this and hold it from below and keep your thighs parallel to the wall, but your feet are still on the wall at 90 degrees, or your shin bones are at 90 degrees, and keep rising, keep pushing, keep rising, and keep supporting. This could be yet another version of that. And then what you can do is you can put one leg out if you feel comfortable with that. Ek pada viparita karni. You can do it this way. Again, this should be very easy to do. It's not too taxing on the body. And anybody at any age should be able to do this. Wonderful. And gently put the other one leg, right leg back, and then lift your left leg up. So this is gentle on your body. It is not hurting your back anywhere. Your mid back, low back, upper back, everything is kind of relaxed. And you're still getting the benefits of that. Only thing is, with using the props, your muscular strength may or may not be benefited as much. Okay, so ideally, you should be putting both the legs out so that you're using now the muscles. Okay, so, and you can convert this into Sarvangasana. So you can go full like this, keep pushing your body up. And you can stay here for up to 64 counts if you wanted. So to not hurt your back, put your leg back onto the wall and then gently lower your back onto the block that you have down there and come back to Viparita Karni and put your feet up there again or sideways like this and relax. Okay, I think with that, we can move on to our regular stuff. Take your block out and hold the rope if you have. Come to the side and come to the seating position. So these are a couple of inversions that I wanted to show you this morning. They're very easy to do. There is no risk out here that you're taking. So I think I would advocate that everybody should do this every day. It's extremely beneficial for your system because we typically don't inverse ourselves, right? So, and then we're going to do some warm up and then we might be able to use some chairs to do some poses today. And I want to show you. So this is one book that I think you all should invest in. It's called The Chair for Yoga. It's a wonderful book by a student of Iyengar who pioneered, Iyengar pioneered the whole idea of using props and using chairs and blocks and belts and all of that. And he also uses weights, the weights that you find in the gym. But we are not doing that. So let's get the warm-up exercise. Okay, so stand on your mats or wherever you feel comfortable with. Cross your hands. And we'll do prana mudra first. So we're going to stretch. So breathe in. Breathe out. Look up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Conscious breathing. Breathe in again. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. One last time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Then let's get into Urdhva Hastasana. So raise your palms up, hands up, and completely face. So your blade of your hand or your fist, your forearm, everything is facing up there. And then as you go up, your shoulders are broad, your chest is broadened like this. And try to widen your shoulders as much as you can. Get a nice posture right here. Feel the stretch in your low back, feel the stretch in your mid back. And if you want to look up, Urdhva Hastasana. And then you can clasp your hands right here. Baddha Hastasana, Baddha Urdhva Hastasana. And then rise on your toes. And exhale and bring your toes back, your heels back down. And one more time, breathe in and rise on your toes. And stretch yourself. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale and come down. Very good. Beautiful. This is a good stretch. So you'll already feel loosened up. So one thing I've always said that the first and foremost thing for loosening your body is to take shower before you do yoga. Always take shower before you do yoga. And you will feel the difference, especially in the morning. In the evening, it may not be that necessary, but in the morning, when your body is still stiff and you're still waking up, and when you shower up, the blood starts going up and down, kind of, and it loosens your muscles, your joints, everything becomes really loose. So always take shower before you do yoga. Okay, now let's do some jogging on the spot. Let's get our heart rate up. It is very important to warm up the body enough to avoid injuries. And sometimes you kind of do a shortcut and not do it, and you can easily hurt yourself. Okay, so now lift your feet up so that your heel is touching the butt. So warm up and stretching are two very, very important things before you exercise. Okay, very good. Stop and put your feet together down there. Your big toes touching, your thighs are touching, and stand in Tadasana. And close your eyes. Look inwards, listen inwards, and let the perception be only in the corporeal body at the moment. Take a full stock of what's happening in the body, all the way from the toes to the soles of your feet, and notice how the body is shifting from side to side, trying to maintain the balance. You can feel your heart rate. Your body is trying to catch up the breath. And be aware from inside. And find that still center within and just sit there. Let's just observe. Almost like sitting at the bottom of the ocean and looking up, the bottom of a lake and looking up, and taking a full stock of the depth. And within, there's complete silence. And let's be witnessing that inner peace, that inner silence, the inner presence. Let's witness that while the body catches up, comes back to homeostasis. Okay, with that, we will do some head rolls. You can keep your eyes closed if you want, but let the head basically gently fall. Okay, so what you can do is either you can do it standing or you can sit in Vajrasan in a mudra like this. Put your hands on your knees, just sit gently. Close your eyes, let the head drop. And observe this inside. See what the body is doing. The body is folded. The body is letting the head go. Let the chin start pressing against the chest. And once your heart rate and your breathing comes to normalcy, we'll start doing the head roll now. Take your head back. Close your mouth. Put your tongue to the roof of the mouth inside. And again, forward and back bend and forward bend and back bend, just like we do with the entire spine. We're just doing now with the upper spine, the neck area. Okay. Having done that, we will go on the side. These are all Brahma Mudras. Go on the side to side. Now, when you're on the left side, see if you can look up and look down, look up and look down, look up and look down 3 times. Move to the right side, look up, look down, look up, look down, look up, and look down. Very good. So now we're going to stiffen the neck. So you can pull the neck backwards. So like this, pull it back, like the front and backward movement. Like this. So now pull it back and then look left. You'll see that there is more resistance inside. It's stiffer than before. Okay, now let it loose. Let it loose. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Very good. Now, you've loosened the neck enough to do the head roll now. So close your eyes. Put your tongue to the roof of the mouth and let the head fall like this. And roll it to the sideways. So the goal is to see if you can touch your ears to your shoulder without raising the shoulder like this. So let the shoulder be where it is. And that is the goal. That doesn't mean it's going to happen right away. And roll it back. Roll it this way to the left side. And keep going again. We'll do 3 times. Counterclockwise. Very good. And then we'll do 3 times. Counterclockwise. Very good. Okay. I think with that, come to shoulders. So clasp your hands, put them on your tummy, grab your 6-pack, and close your wings tight. Okay, wonderful. And then just move the shoulder. 3, 4, and 5. And then go backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, very good. And then take your right shoulder, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then go back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wonderful. Okay, with that, I think we're done with the upper region. We'll stand up, and then we'll do some warm up and loosening up of your abdominal area. So spread your legs apart according to your height. So for me, about 2.5 feet is pretty good. Spread your palms, your hands, bring them to the shoulder height. And then we're going to do some twisting. So when you twist at the back, you blow your nose. So that should be good. And then bring your feet a little bit closer, about just a little bit wider than your hip width. And then we're going to do hula hoop rings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Wonderful. Okay, then we move down to your knees. So bring your knees together. So earlier we were making bigger circles. Now we're going to make smaller circles. Okay, the smaller the better. Okay, you don't want to take your kneecap, the patella, beyond your front toe. Okay, so your circles are as diametrically as long as your feet. Okay, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and do that gently. There's no rush. 2, 3, 4, and 5. What this does, it strengthens the muscles around the knees. Okay, and it also lubricates your kneecaps. You can also massage them like this, and get the blood flowing. All right. Okay. With that, I think we're going to come to the chair again. So if you have the chair, sit in the chair sideways with your feet firmly grounded, back straight, and push yourself back into the chair as much as you can. Okay. And then I'm going to hold the back. All right. Hold the back and turn. See how much you can turn. And just hold this. Now, this is something you can do in the office. Very easy on your office chair or wherever you sit every day for 8 hours. And every once in a while, it is a good practice to sort of twist like this. Now you can also turn sideways like this on the chair, okay? And then you can take these two palms, one on it, one outside, one on the chair from your side, one from the outside. And then one is pushing, the other one is pulling, okay? So the right one here, for me, it is pushing it, while the left one is pulling towards me. And keep your back straight, neck erect, and then look back. And you can hold these positions for up to 30 counts. There is really no harm in it. The longer you hold a pose, the better it is. The body gets maximum benefits to that. The other option is you can scoot a little bit forward and take the back hand and hold the seat of the chair, okay, from the back. It's almost like doing the Machindrasana, all right? And then with the left hand, I'm going to grab this and pull. And then I'm going to twist even a little bit deeper. Very cool. Nice. Okay. And then we'll do the opposite. Turn. Sorry, I'm on the back side, but I can move this way. There you go. Now grab this with the right hand, and with the left hand, push this against. And make sure your back is straight, and then you twist. Twist, twist, twist. Okay, and then with your left hand, grab the seat, and with your right hand, grab the back, and see how much you can twist. Don't go in the overzealous mode and hurt yourself, okay? So just watch, listen to your body, see what you can do. Or if you feel like just keeping the hand here, it's okay too. And then with the right hand, you're pulling yourself. With the left hand, you're supporting. And make sure the back is straight. So your spine, the spine is always straight. You're not bending like this. You're not bending forward. It needs to be straight up. Okay, very good. Okay, with that, the other option for this, for those who are a little bit more adventurous, you can put your legs inside and pull the chair up and then sit on it. Okay, you can do it this way also. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking my heels against the legs. So I'm a little spread out. You hold this and then you twist. Cool. And then you grab with your left hand, with your right hand, grab the seat and then pull yourself up first. Always, never slouch like this, pull. So your spine is always erect. Grab the chair and do more twisting. Okay, very good. And then gently get up, get your feet out of the chair. Now, I'm going to face you like this. And then, you see, normally the forward bends are really hard while sitting down because you don't have gravity helping you, right? And here, when you raise yourself, you have all the gravity to bend down. So I'm not going to do this, but I'm just trying to show you, you can spread your feet apart like this. Sit on the edge of the chair. If you don't have the chair, you can sit on the edge of the bed or your couch in your living room, whatever you have available. And that way you're elevated, you grab the back of the chair and you bend forward. You bend forward, okay? And now with the toes, pull the toes towards you, okay? So that you're basically getting a nice extension in your hamstrings, in your calf muscles down there. And same with the left side. Pull the toes towards you. Make sure the toes are pointing upward and not outward like this, okay? Because normally our tendencies are that when we sit, the leg has this outward rotation all the time. So we are making these corrections by doing yoga. So with the hands, they tend to rotate inward, but the legs tend to rotate outward naturally. That's what happens because we don't take care of them. So now we're getting these alignments back. So what you do is consciously put your feet, put your heels on the ground and make sure your toes are straight up and then pull them back towards you. All right, so then you're getting this nice extension. Here, grab the seat and then go forward, however much you can go forward. I'm not going to pull myself again. If you can grab the toe, I think that'll be great. With both the hands, that'll be awesome. So you just do that and just stay in these positions for a long time. Okay, I'm just going to take it easy. The other thing you can do is bend forward and let yourself hang between, okay, hang yourself between the two knees so that you're getting this nice extension. So what you're doing, if you think about it, you're basically bringing your knee closer and closer to your shoulder. All right. And there are many poses where we have to do that, but this will naturally help you to settle into this position. So you kind of hang in these spaces. And then if you want support, you can put your hand down and release some of the stress on your low back and then gently come up like this. Now, the other thing you can do is spread your feet. Bring them to closer. Put your right foot on the thigh like this. And keep bringing, you're still sitting on the edge. So hold the back seat and see if you can touch your toe. Now, again, you're using the gravity, believe me. The gravity is your friend. That wall is your friend. So we are using these props. We are using these given things to us. So now you keep bringing it up and see if you can grab the back of the seat and bend forward and grab it. It's almost getting into Ardha Machindrasana. So put your right foot down, put your left foot up, and bend forward, grab the back, and then see if you can touch your toes. All right? So these are really, really, really good exercises that you can do in the office or while working every day. Just, you will feel good. Everything gets nicely stretched and twisted, and Anyway, so from here, let's see if we can get into a couple of Surya Namaskar. I think we've stretched ourselves enough. And be mindful of your back. Don't hurt yourself. So, all right, here we go. Stand in the front of your mat, about 8 inches away. Just enough so that you can put your nose down, your chin down, your forehead down. That's probably enough. Come to Samasthiti. Close your eyes and bring the index finger and your chin in contact. And gently rest your chin on top of the index finger. Excuse me. Samasthiti is something where you completely sort of surrender from inside. And surrendering is not giving up. Okay, this is not a war where you surrender and say, I give up. That's not the surrendering we are talking about. This surrendering has a whole different meaning. This is a leap of faith. You surrender to the infinity inside. And you come to the realization how tiny we are. How vast the whole universe is. How vast the existence is. And from that arises a realization. That realization happens in this surrendering. So Samasthiti is now a position of mind as well as a position of the body where you're completely balanced. Your mind is not swaying from the left to the right. You're neither Democrat nor Republican. You're somewhere in between. You're not leftist, not rightist. Just try to find that space where you can be alone in there. That is Samasthiti. It's full of potential to act. It's a complete inaction, but it is fully has the potentiality to sort of act when required, not react, act. So these are the things you should understand what samasthiti means. Okay. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukham tatvam pushan apavrunu satya dharmaya drishtaye. Om Ram Mitraya Namaha. Slide your palms, your Namaskar Mudra down to your navel, and feel this is an engaged position now. And feel the stretch in your forearms, the tension in your wrists. And this is a good stretch for the carpal tunnels. And those who are suffering from carpal tunnels, please be careful. But this is something you should do. And I'll teach you some more exercises for the wrist later. But open your eyes, look straight ahead, and put your hands out and breathe in. And connect your earlobes to the biceps. And let the head fall down. And push your hips forward. And breathe in. And gently start bending forward. If you have any low back issues, bend your knees. Bend your knees and come to 90 degrees like this. Your hands out and put your hand by your feet. Make sure your big toes are aligned to the middle fingers. So that's the alignment. So we are in the Padhastasana. It's also called Janu Shirasana. So Janu Shirasana is where you're completely straight like this, and you can put your forehead to the knees while the hands are down. Okay, so and then let the head fall and look at your knees. And then take your left foot back and gently rest your knee down, the left knee, and put your entire palm down, and make sure your shin is perpendicular to the mat on the right side. Your knee is in your right armpit, and you look straight ahead. And see if you can push your hip a little bit, slowly, using gravity, okay? You're not putting any pressure on it using your muscles, but see how far the gravity will take it in. Observe that. And you are in Ashwasanchalanasana. And while you're here, put your right hand on your knee and then come to straightened position like this. And then go deep inside and get a nice stretch in your thighs here, in your groin area. You're getting a nice stretch. Make sure the knee is not going this way or that way. It is still straight, nicely aligned. And then at this position, hold it right there. Do normal breathing. And then come up. And then see if you can join your palms. And see if you can look up. And maintain the balance, okay? This is a kind of a balancing position. And then see if you can go back into the position like this and look up and bend backwards. And come down. And then put your right foot back and come to Dandasana, Dvipada Prasaran. And make sure your body is absolutely straight, okay? And your toes are curled back there, heels are touching, your toes are touching, everything is in one line. And this is the wonderful position. It's great for your core. And then put your knees down and see if you can fold yourself. And put your forehead to the ground. And breathe in and come up and get into Sashtang Namaskar. So put your chin down first, then your chest, and then you will notice that 8 parts of your body are crooked. And come to Sarpasana. Make sure your knees are not touching the ground. This is not a Bhujangasana. And come to Adho Mukha Svanasana right here. And get a nice stretch. If you want to walk your feet, that's okay. And then with your hands, push yourself in and rise on your toes. Push and rise on the toes. Push a little bit more, a little bit more. And then put your heels down and look at your own navel. And then put your knees down and relax. Exhale here. It's a version of Shashankasana. It's also the Yoga Mudra. And come up to the tabletop and see if you can put your left foot up there between the two hands. Make sure your big toe and your hands, your middle finger are aligned, and you come to Ashwasanchalam. And you look straight ahead. And in this looking, there is no planning. It's just being aware of the current moment, the present moment. Your body is in a situation, body is in a folded, awkward position. Take note of that and just look straight ahead. Look like a camera with no objectively look. That's what the camera does. It just looks. It doesn't say this or that. It only looks. And in this looking, there is no registration of any sort inside. You're just looking with an open focus. If you don't focus your camera on something, it just looks and just gathers light. That's all it is doing. It's just basically the light goes in and falls on the plate at the back or whatever CMOS sensor, whatever you have, digital or analog. So the light is just coming in. There is no reaction to the light, what kind of light, what it is, what are we looking at, nothing, until the mind comes in and says, click, okay? So when you click it is when you register an image. And that's what we're doing 24/7, all day long. We're constantly registering these images about something, about the person you're interacting with. And these images not just store in the brain, but they start fogging your brain over a while, all right? So you need to reset the system. And meditation is a way to wash away those images, okay? So that's why we do all of these three things. So here, what I'm trying to say is just look without registering anything. Look, let's not bring the mind and say, I'm looking at the wall, or I'm looking at the tree, or I'm looking at the sun, or I'm looking at whatever, yeah? There is no labeling of any sort. So this is where you sort of let everything go. You're just in this moment and that's it, here and now on your mat. That's it. So look, but not see anything. Look without any intent. Look without labeling. The complete objective way of perception. It's a direct perception of the reality. And when you are in this state of mind, that's meditation right there, because there are no thoughts, there are no nothing, there is no processing going on, there are no calculations being made. So with that, come to Padahastasana again. I'm going to bend my knees and look at my knees, and then join your palms and come up and backwards and exhale, and you come down. Okay, we'll do one more. Om Hrim Ravaye Namaha. Slide your palms down from the Samasthiti. Breathe in. Breathe in as you come up. Keep breathing. And push your hips forward. And start breathing out as you move forward. And come to Samakonasana. Samakonasana is where you come to a 90-degree position where your hands are straight out, forms a nice 90 degrees here like this. And if you're hurting your back, hold your hands right here by the shoulders, so you're not putting too much pressure on your back. And then you're going to go down and put your hands by your feet. Make sure your middle finger and the big toes are aligned. And take your right foot back. Take it back as much as you can. Get a nice stretch. And then put your right knee down and come to Ashwasanchalan again. We are in this objective looking mode. Look objectively without labeling anything. It's an open focus exercise. It's a mental thing, and it's also physical at the same time. Look with an open focus. The attention on this, so what this position does, it activates your Agnya Chakra. Agnya Chakra is right between your eyebrows along the spine, okay? So the Agnya Chakra is the focus of this. And so you want to, if you want and you don't want to look out there, you can also do the Shambhavi Mudra right here. And Shambhavi Mudra is nothing but look between your eyebrows. Look between your eyebrows. So you're not really registering anything. And these are the techniques that the yogis used in the ancient and the medieval times, and even now, to kind of not bring the mind and muddle everything. What the mind does, it refracts. You know how you take a glass of water and then you put the straw inside, right? The moment the straw goes inside, it starts looking crooked. It looks as though it is broken from the line of the water. You know it is not crooked, but you see it as crooked. That's the problem. This is how we are fooled by the mind, fooled by the senses. You take the straw out, it is straight. You put it back again, it is crooked. You know? So that is the Maya right here. You're seeing it. You know, that is how the perception of any of these senses is really not the true perception. And this is why we are saying that let not the mind interfere in the perception. You perceive directly without you using the eyes to perceive something, but you're not processing with the mind. The refraction happens only when the mind processes it. And in the outer case of the glass, the mind is the water, if you really think about it. The moment things enter the mind, they become crooked. Everything gets crooked. You know, your entire perception is muddled. So keep that mind away for a second. Empty the glass out and keep that empty mind. And then put the straw and see if it becomes crooked. It's not going to be crooked. So that's how we are emptying the mind in this process. Okay, so that refraction is what basically takes us on a ride in life. We don't see things as they are, where they're always refracted, always getting crooked with the mind, the perception of the mind. Okay, so here we are trying to not let the mind come in by different ways and different techniques that the yogis have taught us. So Shambhavi Mudra could be one that can help us. And so when you look between your eyes, you're not really perceiving anything, and you're just thrown back onto yourself like an implosion. Okay, let's take the left foot back and come to the plank position. Dvipada Prasaran, Dandasan. You can look between the hands or the front of the mat, or you can look ahead. This is a core exercise. It engages your core very well. Your body is straight. Your body is not this and neither that. So it is straight, and that puts a lot of pressure. So put your knees down gently and come back to Shashankasan, Yoga Mudra, and relax here. Here you can close your eyes. And again, do not let the mind come in between the perceptions. It's something, it's an ideal situation. It's not created by us. It happens to be that way. Okay. So mind you that when I'm instructing something saying that let not the mind come in, so who is not going to let the mind come in? The entity, that who, is always the mind. So it's like giving all the power to the mind and say, don't act on anything. All right. So it's not that. So you have to consciously observe from within whether the mind is coming in or not. And that observation is so powerful that it is like turning the lights on and the darkness goes away. It's that powerful. So when you are in that moment, in that presence, the mind will never come in. The mind will never interfere. So be in that presence, be in the light of that presence. Your own light. And light is analogous to understanding, about perception. Okay, so with that, Pancha, and then you come to Shata. Shata is the Sashtang Namaskar. 8 parts of your body are touching. And completely exhale here. And this is a good exercise. It presses certain parts of the body. It presses some marma bindus inside. And come to Sarpasan. Make sure your heels are touching, toes are curled. And if you don't want to curl the toes, you can put them like this also. This is a little harder. It's harder. It feels like you're in the Vajrasana again. So if you want to try that, that's up to you. And come to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Be careful with this. This can really stretch your low back. So bend your knees and just bring them close to the mat, but don't touch them. And then go back again. And then with your hands, push yourself and see if you can put your heels down. You can walk like this and pump that calf muscle again to get going with the fluids. And then bend your knee, bring it down, Don't touch it. Don't touch it. And bring it up again. And then look at your own navel. And put it down and relax. Breathe in and come up. And then put your right foot up. Come to Ashwasanchalan. Ashwasanchalanasana. Get your Shambhavi Mudra again so that the mind doesn't perceive anything and there is direct perception of the reality. Not through the mind, directly. Okay, and then breathe in and breathe out again. Join your palms, breathe in again. And exhale and come down. There you go. Wonderful. Okay, I think with that, we'll do some pranayam and meditation. Okay, very nice. So put your left heel in the perineum and put your right on the top and sit comfortably with your neck and spine erect. Wonderful. Okay, so I think we should let the heart rate come down a little bit. I have skipped the resting pose today because we want to do some pranayam and meditation. So we'll do some kriyas first. And the kriyas are typically more active, okay? Like Kapalabhati is a kriya, Vastrika is a kriya. So this bunch of exercises that are actually, are more hyperventilating the body, okay? So they're bringing in a lot of oxygen and this oxygen reaches into every little cell of your body and it awakens it. And then we are ready for the pranayam, okay? So this is how you should practice every day and with regularity, and then you will feel the difference in your daily perceptions, your interactions with people. You will feel more calmer. You will notice that you are not agitated immediately. I'm not saying that you will not get agitated, but even 1 out of the 10 times you stayed calm, I think you've made some progress. Okay, so you will be more calm and composed as you realize in your daily living. Okay, with that, I think we should sit in Chin Mudra. Let's do some Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati is like the warm-up exercise for pranayam. So you always start with Kapalabhati, just like we did some warm-up for doing the other exercises. So close your eyes and let's get going. We'll do 108 strokes. Make sure your spine is erect, your neck is erect. Sit in Chin Mudra and be comfortable here. The most important thing is, are you comfortable here and now? That's the sort of the yardstick that you want to use. If you're uncomfortable, all your mind is going to constantly rebel from within. So settle down in this position, bring your attention Inwards, listen inwards, look inwards. And take a deep breath and let it go. One more time. Deep breath. Press your epiglottis and release. Last time. Take a deep breath. Exhale fully. Fill the lungs halfway and start Kapalabhati. Exhale at the 108. Fully exhale. Pull your tummy in. Take a deep breath and release with Ujjayi. Very good. We'll do one more time. Exhale fully. Make sure your Mooladhar, your Moola Bandha is there. Always exhale fully again. Breathe in half and start. Exhale on 108. Pull the tummy in. Moola Bandha. Uddiyana Bandha. And take a deep breath. And release gently with Ujjayi. One last round of 108. Exhale fully. Breathe in half and start. Pull your tummy in. Take a deep breath. Okay, with that, we will do the Brahmari pranayam. So get ready for Brahmari. We'll go into Shankh-Mukhi Mudra. And last time on Sunday, we looked at how to do the Shankh-Mukhi Mudra. So you take that little thing here, they call it the vestigial organ. Take that and put your left thumb on it and press. And do the same thing on the right side. Press it. Then put your index finger on your eyebrows. There are marma bindus here, by the way, okay, along the eyebrows. There's marma bindu at this vestigial organ that you're pressing right now. It's near the temples, okay. So put your right finger, index finger on the eyebrows, your middle finger at the Agnya Chakra, okay? And with your left, either you can gently close your eyes like this, or you can let it rest on this marma bindu right here. And the pinky can just hang here and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. So what I'm doing is I'm creating the sound of the Brahmari, which is a bee, which is a honey collecting bee that goes around and it just makes this sound. So you're imitating that sound, but it's high pitched. It's not low pitched like a brummer, like a bumblebee. No, we're talking about the honey bee here. So when you're doing that, keep your mouth gently closed, but your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So whatever vibrations your vocal box is creating, those vibrations through your tongue, they transfer into your brain through the upper palate, the upper part of your mouth. So they transfer into the brain and they activate the pineal gland. And then the pineal gland is stimulated because of these vibrations reaching. So every time you do any of these makaras, remember your tongue needs to be up there. Okay, so if you're doing Omkar or you're doing Brahmari or any of those, uh, makaras, which is mostly Omkar and the Brahmari. So with that tongue, it activates the pineal gland. The pineal gland is stimulated and it releases its own secretions. And in the yogic system, it's called the ambrosia. It's called the piyusha. It's called the amrutam, whatever you want to call it. And it's important that once you're done with the Brahmari, you do an inversion. And you try to not, and that inversion specified is only the Sarvangasana. So Sarvangasana, what it does, it locks your chin to here. When it is locked, the ambrosia cannot go down into your system. It stays within your brain and it helps you. It's in the scientific world, you can call it dopamine. It's the happiness hormone. Okay. So let's do it again. We want to do this ideally 15 to 17 times to the secretion so that the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, the adrenaline glands, which are here, are enough stimulated to release the secretions. Okay, so here we go. Close it, get into Shankmukhi Mudra again. Take a deep breath, put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, and take a deep breath and slowly release the air. There's no rush, never rush in pranayam. So you should be able to make this sound for at least 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, so let's do it. Take a deep breath. One more time. Take a deep breath. One last time. Take a deep breath. Put your hands on the knees. Get into Chin Mudra. And do the Shambhavi Mudra inside. Look at the center of your eyebrows. And observe what is happening in the Chidakash. Take a few normal breaths. Relax your shoulders. And see if we can go beyond that refraction that we were talking about. See if there is any direct perception. You will notice that the Chidakash is changing some colors. Bring your attention to the tip of the nostrils. Nasagra Mudra. And be conscious of your breathing. Natural breath. Going in, coming out. In the Buddhist system, this is called the Anapana meditation. Observe the breath going in. We're not altering anything. We're just aware that the body is breathing. We're sitting there above the upper lip, below the nostrils, like a door guard, like a watchman that never misses anybody going in or anybody coming out. So we watch every breath that goes in. We're aware. And the watchman sits there and watches every breath. He doesn't go inside, doesn't leave with anybody going out. He just sits there on his stool or chair. And he's conscious, he's making sure he checks every breath. He checks every breath going out. So I would highly recommend you practice this meditation either very early in the morning in the Brahma Muhurt. Brahma Muhurt is typically 90 minutes before the sunrise. And you practice this before you go to bed. Start with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Keep on adding slowly, slowly, slowly build it up. And again, the observation here is a direct perception of the breath. It's not mindful. People say do mindful breathing. I would say mindlessly breathe it. Let's not have anything to do with the mind here. Mind is the culprit that brings in all the sorrow and misery in the life. Empty that glass out. Just put the straw inside. We don't need that mind. The mind is a tool. We cannot be enslaved by the mind. We are right now slaves of the mind. The mind takes us from here to there. It oscillates between the craving and aversion. I don't like it. I love this. I love this. I don't like this. Every day, every moment, the mind is constantly oscillating between these two polarities. I hate something. I love something. So that love-hate relationship we have to the world needs to be dropped so that we can directly perceive objectively, like the camera. Join your palms. We'll say 3 Omkars. Take a deep breath. One more. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarotam pravaram muninam patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi Abahu Purushakaram Shankha Chakra Siddharinam Sahasrara Shirasam Shvetam Pranamami Patanjalim Hari Om. Rub your palms. And notice the subtle difference between your Chidakash, the first beginning of the class when we did this, and at the end of it. There are subtle differences. Take note of that. Okay. Okay, I'll see you next Sunday. I hope you have a great week.
Thank you so much, Amitji.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you, Amitji.
You're welcome. Welcome. So,
Thank you.
Thank you,
yeah,
Amitji.
those who have the Ganesha